Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Inside Out Smile. I'm your host, Dr. Amber Q, and I would like to announce that today is the 5th anniversary of Inside Out Smile. Yes, I've been rambling on for 5 years. Can you believe it? And in those 5 years, what has happened? Of course, we had the pandemic. Things didn't get back to normal. In fact, they became worse. Now we have a full-blown genocide. We've learnt about brands, haven't we? We've learnt that brands are not as they appear. They purport all these wonderful sort of highfalutin values, but the reality is that a lot of them, well, they're unethical. And then, of course, we have people who are becoming more and more wealthy, huge players in various industries, and it seems as if a lot of those people are not ethical either. Things that even come to light get buried, and it just seems as if things are getting worse and worse. And with globalization, I think, gosh, we're becoming more disconnected. There is hope, of course. There is hope because there are wonderful people in the world, and we've always got to have hope, and we've always got to try to make change, because change can happen. It definitely can happen. But I think all our eyes have been opened. We now realise that the UN, which funnily enough, I did at one point early on in my career want to work for the UN, and a lovely professor told me that would not be a good idea, and that the UN was a very politically motivated organisation. And now I think back on his words and I think, wow, I did not see that coming. And I think this just brings to light that things are not as they appear, which I think is really interesting, because we've been convinced that in the material world, everything that we see is what we should believe. Seeing is believing. But of course, in faith, believing is seeing something that's not there. And I'm so glad that I have my faith. And I think a lot of people are actually waking up to the fact that things are not as they appear. So are there other things that we are unaware of? And I feel that it's so interesting that as everything is becoming more and more hyper-connected, we are actually becoming less connected, more fragmented, and just more disconnected from who we really are. And that's why we've got so many issues at a societal level, community level, personal level, individual level. I've already said that, haven't I? But the thing is that, there's that personal and individual level. Well, it's interesting, isn't it? Because maybe the personal level is different from the individual level, because the thing is, we are constantly fed, aren't we, that we're individuals. That whole, what was that song about? Something about man's an island or something. I can't remember. But basically, we're kind of fed this scenario that we're individuals and we're our own thing. And that affects us on a personal level, because that's not true. Everything is connected and we're all connected to each other. And I just feel that people are kind of starting to wake up to it, although a lot of us are just suffering and not realizing why they're suffering. But that's the reason that we're becoming more and more disconnected. And we're also becoming disconnected from nature, aren't we? Like literally from everything, because there's ultra processed foods. People are working night shifts and things, and we're not we're sort of just isolated in cities, and we're just on laptops and things, and it's so different when you meet somebody in real life. And it's so funny because I met someone the other day, and I'd only seen this person online, and then I met them and I was like, wow, they're in 3D. And it was such a surreal experience, which I thought was really, really weird, because it's so nice to meet somebody in the flesh, They have an energy to them, and they're just so much more expressive than on a screen. It's so interesting. And one of my friends, actually, she's just super sporty. and she was climbing up a mountain, and I was like, wow, you have my respect, because mountains, I mean, they're beautiful. I haven't personally been up a mountain. I don't know if I'd really want to do that, to be honest, because I'm not so sure. I'd like to admire a mountain from afar, maybe walk around the base, stare at it, but not climb up it like my friend. She's always doing incredible things, which I think I live through that vicariously, because she is so in tune with nature. And I mean, I love nature so much, but I don't know that I could climb a mountain. But the thing is that it's just, we've just become this, I don't know, we've become so disconnected from everything. And then that leads us to disease and illness. I mean, it's not really surprising, is it? And I think that we've all just got to do our bit. We've just got to do what we can for humanity, to keep our vitality alive, and to make healthy choices. And those healthy choices do come from the ability to be self-aware and to reflect upon things, and to build sort of better habits. And on that note, I think that it's time to say, until the next episode, let's all create connection wherever you go, because everything is connected. We are all interconnected, and let's not just change lives, but let's save lives.